We look at gold today with the intention of closing out our longs towards the end of the day and redoing entries again towards the end of the day. So we were expecting a breakout earlier before it did occur. Why did gold break out earlier? We've done a bit of resources. It turns out this is of course an opinion, but most analysts believe that there was a release by the US government, by the US administration, that they will allow Ukraine to use missiles and American weapons into Russian territory. I believe there is a cap of something like 500 kilometers into Russian territory. Why is this a game changer? It is a game changer because the Russians have been making ground gains into the Donbass in eastern Ukraine, making very good gains, and probably the US government or the US administration wants to show that this is not acceptable and that they will not allow a defeat for Ukraine. And if you are able to, let's say, take out Russian utilities beyond the front lines by 500 kilometers, then you will stall the Russian advance. So the US is taking the risk that if you attack Russian soil, it's expected that it could trigger a nuclear response. If it's not even a nuclear response, the economic markets, are actually discounting more escalations, severe escalations. The Russians, of course, have a lot of weapons. They don't have to be nuclear, and they will, of course, use something massive to counter this measure. So we get more escalations into Europe. More escalations means higher gold price, and this has triggered gold into 2,570. Has nothing to do with inflation. All right, so this is what we're looking at today on the 45 minutes. I believe we have a top out towards the end of the day today, or right now. We have longs, we close the longs. If we have a retraction to 2,540, 2,536, we re-enter market. We have seen, of course, 1 and 2. We have an internal 1 and 2, dot 1, dot 2, dot 3. This is also dot 4. Usually corrects 50%, 38.2, 61.8. If we get 61.8 and we don't get 50, we buy before the end. We buy before the end of the day, hold it across the end of the week. Maybe we get an escalation midweek, end of week. Unlikely, really, very unlikely. But of course, you can never tell. We're seeing the same structure, but on a 15 minutes. So this is today's 45 minutes. The structure is very clear. 1 and 2, internal, of course, 1 and 2, dot 1, dot 2, 3. We just got a 4, buy into it, take it live. Take it higher, of course. The next leg takes us to 2,600, 2,596 is showing here, just 138.2 of leg 3, 2,600. Okay, so take it now to 15 minutes. We take it live. I believe we're going to get a correction. We close out, taking the yield. We usually advise to hold across the end of the week, but always advise to close out if you're on strong yield, strong good money, and re-enter the market before the end of the day. Before the end of the day, we may just be stuck there at 2,560, I believe. We'll just check the price now. If we're stuck at 2,560, I believe we can stand down this week. Maybe just take a very small 1/4 of a contract long, just in case something happens. Not a half-size contract, just 1/4. Wait until Monday, add 2,536, because there should be a lot of profit taking at these levels. And therefore we take the best, wait for the retraction, 2,536 again, top of a level 1, can take you as low as 2,525. All right, let's take it live. We can take that level, 2,536, 2,525 to 2,600. Let's take it to gold. Okay, so we can't really close except the end of the day. That's the point. Can we join the market at this point? There is, of course, risk entailed. We're joining the market almost at a top out. That's why we usually say or keep saying that it's important to have longs in oil and gold, I'm sorry, at all times. Because you can't really catch a breakout in gold. It's fundamentally driven. And no one, unless you have insider information, will know that there is a breakout. So it's best always to have longs and hold them. All right, so are there going to be escalations across the end of the week? To my personal knowledge, no. Why are we moving higher end of day today? Are we getting lower dollar or stock market? Not really. As a matter of fact, we're doing 84.74 on the United States dollar against the Swiss. Okay, so it would look like just let it run towards the end of the day, close out. Close out, yes, taking the yields and let's take this to 5 minutes. Close out, take it in the yields. It becomes everyone in their own risk comfort if we are going to be buying re-entry market before end of week, or should we wait until the end? Should we wait until next Monday to re-enter market? It's really everyone and the perception. All right, let's just take a look at if you wanted to join the market, where's the best entry? Bear with us a few moments. We're continuing in leg 3, of course, and that 3 here, and this is breaking out into extensions. The last extension is an internal 1 and a 2 at that point. The 3, this is a 4, and we're still doing a 5. Best entry is towards the neckline, 2571, 2571.05, 2572. We can still get an A, B, and a C. We buy 2572. Either, of course, you will have to hold it until the end of the going into across the end of the week, or just close towards the end of the day. We are now above resistance 2. Next target is resistance 3, 2582, and 2612. Okay, so on a personal note, I would consider that's just me. I am not asking anyone to join or follow. I would do the usual. I would close out, take profits, and buy a half size across the end of the week. But it's very risky, really, because it's could be a top out, and next week, Monday, we could see lower prices and get a better entry. On the other hand, something could be brewing across the end of the week. Brewing meaning something is planned across the end of the week, and we cannot afford to be left out. So if something is planned on a half size, we get 2,600 easily across next week, Monday, maybe even more. All right, so best entry today is 2,572. Of course, there are no stops across the end of the week. You would want to use a half size. It's up to everyone and their comfort levels to whether they want to hold long gold positions across the end of the week. please make it half size, and please make sure that you have taken the profit and the yield for the past position before re-entering the market, before redoing a long position.